I'm Carmiece Graves, and I practice family law in the Washington, D.C. area.
One of the questions we have to think about, like say if you're married and you're dealing with your house and you own it together, the question is, well, we have an answer that we need to deal with. Hello, welcome. It's Carmiece Graves. It's the year-end edition. And I don't know what's going on with the lighting. I know I look kind of whatever. I'm just here. I'm happy to be here with you guys. And it's the year end of 2021. You know, we made it. It has been a interesting journey. So today I'm just going to do my 2021 reflections. And first it starts off with thanking all of you for your support, for your people being in my life. You know, I'm just appreciative of so much that I've learned this year, that I've overcome this year, I've expanded this year, I've grown this year, and I've done it together in concert with so many people behind the scenes supporting me supporting others. So I'm appreciative of the camaraderie. I'm appreciative of all of the support, and we're at year end. So I wanted to take this time out because I don't do a lot of posting of pictures and different things like that in social media, but I do try and jump on and do a video. And then I always want to offer something of substance that's coming out of what's happening right now. There's a lot of protective order cases going on. It's a busy season. The holidays are rough for family law. People are definitely in their feelings, people filing cases, protective orders. It's just human beings being human beings, and the holidays don't make it easier. So I wanted to talk about protective orders because there's just been a rash of those that I've been involved with, and I want you to have some information out there to help guide you in if you find yourself in this situation, or you can just get a framework of understanding about a couple of options you have there if you find yourself involved with protective orders, because they're very the slippery situations. So I want you to have a little bit of information on that, what I can offer humbly. So nonetheless, okay, so reflections. So 2021, oh my goodness. I don't think I would have thought that at the end of the year we would still be dealing with the pandemic, but we are. So I have come to, I was listening yesterday to a radio show, and they were saying that as a result of all that of the aid and support that the government has given out, that Americans in this country are wealthier than they have more savings than they've ever had before. And it was interesting because the show people was kind of like, what's going to happen to the economy if people save their money? I'm just like, is saving money, isn't that like a good thing? They called it like, people been over saving. I'm like, you sound like you're over hating. Like, why would you want people to save their money, pay down debt? But it seems like because of, the influx of governmental support in response to the pandemic, people are wealthier than they ever have been. And then getting the money and then can't, go entertain yourself. So all the entertainment industries being impacted through, from the variant, the COVID and all that. So people have no place to go. So they stack their money. People have a lot of money. I'm like, well, that's really good. But I also think some of the benefits have been that it's allowed people to choose what kind of life they really want to live. And that's why I find like family law is really picking up, because people are making decisions like, look, we've been doing this. I ain't doing it no more. Let me make a decision. Let me clean up my life. Let me go in the direction I'm really going in, so people seem to be more, because when, dealing with this pandemic, like, you're like, something's trying to get me. People sick, dying. This is crazy, a dire time. So people are more intentional. But then this stuff going on, there's a lot of wealth being generated, which like, okay, I didn't anticipate that. It's a good thing. They have like shortages on like private jets, like the people, because of people being afraid of getting COVID, people started taking more first class flights, so they have more space, bigger seats. They said the first class people started flying private, and I guess the people who was flying private just said, we're just going to get our own plane. Everybody, it's like, wow. But, I am a bit concerned about, I know it's going to work out, but the shelves, that shipping and all that's going on there with that issue right there, that needs to resolve itself, because I'm looking at, the grocery stores, and it's starting to look a little sparse, So those trade negotiations, whoever's on that one, let's get that one together. Okay. We need the goods to come in. I tried to order stuff that I've ordered, never made it. It just didn't make it. I tried to order something for the office. I expanded in a new space and tried to get a reception desk. They canceled my order twice. I was in denial. I'm like, okay, Amazon, I'm going to just place it again. Maybe it was a bad day. Maybe you were having a bad day. I'm going to try this again. Place the order. They're like, no, refund your money. It's not coming. I'm like, wow. So that one, y'all, that one is like bubbling over. Like, what's happening with that? They're real quiet about that. And they loud about COVID. What's going on with the shipping containers? We're going to be able to get our stuff? Who on that one? Who on that one? I just want to know who on that one, because that one, to me, I'm looking at that like, that's interesting. We have commerce interrupted and it's not happening. Okay, we're going to see how much stuff we import, because them shelves is looking kind of crazy. Okay. But nonetheless, so those are good things. Housing shortages, still got that, because people got so much money, they don't have, there's no houses to buy. I mean, I was like, wow. So a lot of different things. A lot of different things are happening. I think I'm accepting that this COVID life is going to be here for a minute. I think I've just kind of given up that idea that it's going away and we're going to get back to normal. I've let that go. I've let that go, which is sad because I really want to travel. You know what I mean? So I think it may just take a little bit longer than I would have anticipated for this whole thing to kind of become a part of our society. This COVID, you got to make room for COVID. You know, it's like, look, I'm not going anywhere. I have new variants. I am transmuting myself. I'm growing. I'm becoming great. So I'm not going anywhere. So it's like this idea that we're going to get rid of it and then we're going to get back. That's not how that's going to happen. So, yeah, that's interesting. So we're still dealing with that one. Okay. So, but again, I just wanted to, I've grown a lot for me, you know, just, dealing with getting older, people passing away, things like that kind of really has me very present to how delicate life is, and really wanting to enjoy life as much as possible. And I'm realizing one of the insights I wanted to share, like being a family lawyer, you wonder, like, I see people going through a lot of relationship stuff, and it's very normal. Like, it's very normal people, the average people just going through life. And intimate relationships is one that can really strike to, there. And it can really have you be out of sorts. But I notice in life, like, there's always something trying to have you be out of sorts to not enjoy your life, And it could be just things not appearing or showing up or going exactly the way you had anticipated it to do that. But still, we have to really find that joy, because look at COVID. COVID's like shut it down. They keep saying social distance. They like not putting entertainment back. People are just in anarchy around the world because you want to cut off. Like, you're telling human beings to do something they're very naturally inclined to do, which is we're social creatures. We want to be together. And now you're telling them don't be together. It's pretty interesting. Like, so we are in this time where we have to determine how to create joy for ourselves in ways that may not have been the way we anticipated it. But that's always happening. That's always the case. Because I think my clients find themselves there most of the times, like, I didn't get married to get divorced. You know what I'm saying? I hear that a lot. And like, yeah, right, you did it. But we have a situation. And now we're going to have to adjust and grow. This may not be where you end up. It's just where you at right now. And we're going to have to keep it moving. So nonetheless, this is all, dynamic development for human beings to be happy and joyful. And I wish everyone that. I wish everyone happiness, love, joy, abundance, your heart's desires, easily, joyfully, with freedom and ease and health and wealth and abundance and all that you want to, and just simple joy for no good goddamn reason, just simple old, I'm here feeling good and nothing's wrong in my world right now, joy. So that's a premium, right? Because you have to have a lot of things going on for yourself to have those moments. And when you have them, appreciate them and all that goes into it. Having a place that's safe, that's, secure, that's, the lights is on, and a lot of things are going well. Even it's just so simple. You can always look to more that you want that you don't have. And I think I've been caught up. I can easily say I have to focus like in the now. So much is right now, so much is going on well. So nonetheless, okay, I just want to share that. I just wanted to just show some appreciation. But in terms of protective orders, okay, because I'm not clickbait, okay, um, let's talk about it. So this idea now, the the situation I want you to be really cognizant of is it looks, if you have some sort of any physicalness in your relationship where it can get heated and there could be a little tussling back and forth, and I don't know if there's pushing or shoving in your mind, it may not be an incident that rises to the level of, oh, I mean, maybe we're about to start to have a fight. There's that imminent threat component of dealing with protective orders. I want you to know that exists and how the court will see that. It could be like, say you're an incident. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you have to make a really big decision when you're dealing with protective orders, whether you want to consent or where you want to go to trial. Okay. So it's really not about the facts. I just want you to be a little bit sensitive of some of these things that maybe it's been around, maybe it's something that you have done, maybe it's an element that you guys have both tolerated with each other, but it's viewed, and it may be a little bit commonplace between you all, and maybe you, in your opinion, things don't get too crazy out of hand, or really only happened once. But when it rises to the level now that a petition has been filed and the court is looking at it, they are highly sensitive to any physical back and forth in a relationship. And they don't want anyone to feel like they have to think that you may do it in the future again, that something could happen and it could get physical. And if they have an explanation, a scenario to share where, something was happening and you were being aggressive or something like that, that's enough to get a protective order. So, you have to really think, it's good to get a consultation, to get an outside third party opinion on the situation, on what happened, so that you can make the best decision on whether to go to trial. And one of the things, and one slippery thing here that I don't want you to fall for is, if there's in a petition, I've seen petitions where half of it sounds ridiculous, like that did not happen. That's ridiculous. Versus then there's another part of it that did happen, but in your mind, it wasn't a big deal. So, but you're kind of distracted by the part that was ridiculous. No, but I'm like, well, there's another part, is all of this ridiculous? Or is it part of it happened and the other part got exasperated? That's a tricky one, because you'll get so focused on this, that there's a lie on this paper. But if half of it is true and that part put the person in imminent threat, fear, or harm, you get a protective order. So you have to know in your heart what's going on there. Did something get to the level where you was trying to muscle up? Was you trying to force? Were you trying to, was you doing that? Was you pulling up on somebody? If that's the case, you could end up with a protective order. But you could get in there and get on your hype about the part that's completely false, and ain't nobody talking about that. The court be like, yeah, that sounds stupid. Let's talk about this part, though. Okay? Watch it. Now, if so, what you can do, you like, well, what if that was the case? What if that did happen? Well, if that's the case, then you can just consent. Like, hey, all right, fine, peace. All right, that's called consent. Like, okay, you said I was doing it. You'd be like, half is a lie, but okay, whatever. I'm not tripping. I don't really have to, be around you. We don't even live together anymore, whatever. You can consent. This is things that you should really, get a consultation about from an attorney and go over your options, because one doesn't have the same ramifications as the other one does. Protective order, go to trial, lose, you have a judgment. Impactful. It's a judgment. It's a big deal. Consent doesn't have the same legal ramifications. It's not a judgment. There wasn't a trial, and there was a finding of the facts and all that stuff. All that stuff can be used later on in other cases. Consent, the court that said, I didn't even ask. I didn't get into it. I didn't make a decision about it. Y'all just said y'all, won't be around each other, and then we good. So, but the analysis just starts there. There's no way I could possibly go through a whole analysis on a protective order. This is just one narrow issue, that I want you to be aware of, and knowing that you want to get the consultation as soon as you have been served with a protective order. More importantly, listen, don't be aggressive. Okay, that's really listen, okay, I'm just saying, because you can get protective order. I don't want you to get protective order. So, let's not, let's have a WUSA system in place to kind of de-escalate. And if you're, if this is a situation that causes you to flare and flare and flare, and it wants to get to that level, we got to really think about this. Is this a safe place to be? Because you don't want to be in scenarios where police are being called because this person gets you so out of your mind. Forget the makeup part. Let's think about, what could be destroyed, along the way. And we don't want credit and jail and police. You don't want the police there, because sometimes y'all don't like what the police, sometimes that does not turn out well. I don't want you in a scenario where you got to call the police. So if it's a situation where the relationship really goes to those levels, got to really think about, what's what. So this is when I run the banner. Okay, anyway, I just like the little technology. So anyway, you guys know how to reach me, and I'm wishing you guys safety. Keep it cool, keep it calm. That's what I'm working on. Self-mastery, make decisions about who you're around, feel how you feeling, put yourself in the best situation to win. Okay. If something does happen, give me a call. We're here. You can, we can walk through any scenarios and see, what a best course of action would be. But I prefer that there are no issues like this, but life happens, and we are here to have your back, support you, and get you through it. So nonetheless, I just wanted to pop on and say Happy New Year, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and you enjoy yourself, and you come into 2022 with high spirits, filled with love and joy, prosperity, and good fortune. Okay, I will see you guys again in 2022.
I'm Carmiece, and I practice family law in the Washington, D.C. area. One of the questions we have to think about, like say if you're married and you're dealing with your house and you own it together, the question is, well, we